We talk about Bangladesh.
That's right. It has been 2 years, Eric, since the Bangladesh uprising led to the ouster of Sheikh Hasina, who's the country's longest-serving prime minister. And this occasion has been marked not just in Bangladesh, but also here in India.
In Dhaka, Prime Minister Tariq Rahman warned against any instability in Bangladesh and resurgence of, quote, ousted forces. The leader also promised transparent and impartial trial for those killed during the July 2024 uprising. While Rahman did not refer to Sheikh Hasina by name, his remarks on the 2-year anniversary of her ouster are interestingly timed.
In India's national capital, several leaders of the Awami League and supporters of Sheikh Hasina were in attendance at the event. Former Bangladesh cricketer leader Shakib Al Hasan also attended this event virtually. While many were waiting in anticipation for Sheikh Hasina's virtual address, the deposed Bangladeshi leader issued an audio address only, where she spoke of returning to her country. In fact, she answered some of the questions as well. But she did say that she wants to return to her country no matter what fate holds in store for her. Listen in to this excerpt from her remarks.
I may be detained. I may be sent to prison. They may try to enforce verdicts issued in fabricated cases, but fear cannot decide my duty to the people. I want to return because the people deserve security, development, prosperity, and peace. They deserve a state that protects them, an economy that gives them opportunity, and a democracy that gives them rights.
Sheikh Hasina already faces death penalty back at home. In November last year, Bangladesh's International Crimes Tribunal had sentenced the deposed leader to death in absentia after convicting her for the crackdown on student-led anti-government protests in 2024. Hasina also faces prison sentences in several other cases as well. And as you saw from the clips that we just played there, the son of Sheikh Hasina represented the mother, but the mother appeared virtually but on phone. Audio.
That's right. She was not visible on screen. Only her voice could be heard at this press conference. Let's quickly, decode this entire press conference, Eric, for our viewers. Let me quickly welcome Ambassador Veena Sikri, who is joining us on the broadcast from New Delhi. She's a former Indian diplomat, has several years of serving experience in Bangladesh. She'll be joining us in a short while from now. But as for the press conference, Eric, remember this has been the first virtual press conference that she has addressed here in New Delhi. She's been here for a while, and one of the most important aspects that she and her son Joy talked about was how Bangladesh has been gripped in fear, and they also accused the current regime of using students and emotionally manipulating them to make sure that she is ousted from power and removed from her country. All right, we have Ambassador Veena Sikri with us on the broadcast. Ambassador Sikri, good evening. Always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast with us. Can I start by asking you what you made of the press conference, ma'am? Because there was a lot of accusation that was done on behalf of Sheikh Hasina and her son against the current regime. They also said that, there is fear in the hearts and minds of Bangladeshi citizens today. But one of the things that she kept on repeating throughout her press conference was that she will return to Bangladesh. Do you see this as just a political posturing, or do you see some kind of confidence? And the reason, perhaps you could explain to us, why does she have that confidence that she will be able to return to her country? Because once she lands there, she, an arrest awaits her.
Yes, thank you. I think that the press conference was actually quite an electrifying event. She was very firm and clear in what she said. Her son also spoke. There were other speakers as well. But of course, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was the heart and soul of the press conference. And what was electrifying was that she agreed to answer questions. After making her statement, there were a lot of people there in the audience who wanted to ask questions. All the international media were there, the leading Indian channels were there, everyone was there, and they were all keen to ask questions. So she decided to answer the questions. And at one point, one thought that only her son Sajib would answer on her behalf, but suddenly she came in and she started answering the question. So you're right, she has expressed her complete determination to return to Bangladesh. She said that I will go back because I must go and be with my people, and she enumerated all the difficulties that the people are facing because, for example, the large number, 10,000 Awami Leaguers, according to Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, have been killed. Another tens of thousands have been arrested and put in jail. A lot of the Awami leaders are still in jail, and former ministers have actually died during their stay in jail. There is no rule of law because, there is no FIR being filed. There are murder charges, but no evidence, no FIR, no bail being given. So it's a completely, shall I say, a society that has closed in on itself. There is no freedom of any kind. Even the media is not free at all. For example, we know that once this press conference had been announced, the Bangladesh government tried to stop it, but when they received the
Ambassador?
reply from went ahead. But we know that the Bangladesh media banned any coverage.
Ambassador, before you move on, now that you've brought the government of Bangladesh and their comments, the Prime Minister did issue a warning. It was not a direct warning, but an indirect warning to those leaders who have been deposed in Bangladesh, warning them not to return to the country. Do you think Sheikh Hasina will heed to that warning?
No, according to what she said today, she is determined to go back. She is determined to go back. She said that she will go back and face any consequences. She is prepared to surrender to the court. I think she would like an appeal. She would like to launch an appeal, a legal appeal against the verdict of death sentence that had been given to her, because she says that that trial was by a kangaroo court. The court was not authorized to try her for this purpose, and that was a court meant only for war criminals of the 1971 war, and also that they didn't allow her any defense. So I think that there is no question. And I must also tell you that to show you the chaos in Bangladesh itself, I have got information from there that today the president, acting president of Bangladesh, organized a big function to show a documentary on what they define as the July uprising, and they invited all the diplomats and everybody for that function. But in that function, a complete disagreement broke out between the BNP, which is in the government, and the NCP, which is the so-called students' party, and they were shouting at each other and throwing insults at each other, and all the diplomats left. They just got up and left. So I'm just trying to say that what is happening within Bangladesh today is a complete anarchic situation. And I'm worried about it because the people of Bangladesh
Ambassador Sikri, how much of this chaos and anarchy can be attributed to the ISI? Because both Sheikh Hasina and her son did say that ISI is now deeply involved in Bangladesh's affairs, and that not just Bangladesh, but India should be concerned as well. They also said that Bangladesh is becoming another Pakistan.
No, absolutely. She's absolutely right, because Pakistan has taken full advantage of Sheikh Hasina leaving the country to work with the interim advisor Muhammad Yunus. And Muhammad Yunus said this was a planned uprising, meticulously designed regime change ouster. And Pakistan is trying to go back to a pre-1971 situation. They are embedding themselves with the Bangladesh army, etc. And I think that they want full control. But what is happening in Bangladesh, and that is where the anarchy comes in, is that the people are not accepting Pakistani control. They don't want Pakistan back. They still remember the 1971 Liberation War. But the Awami League vote bank is fully intact, 30-40% of the people, and even more who may not be in favor of Sheikh Hasina, but who value the Liberation War. So those people are not going to quietly accept a rule by Jamaat-e-Islami or by Pakistan or by anybody who doesn't value the Liberation War.
Okay.
Now, today, for example, in Bangladesh, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh has inaugurated a museum dedicated to the July uprising. But that is really sarcastic, because it was not an uprising. It was a regime change operation. And the people who, among the very same people who are in government today, the people who shot dead policemen and who publicly...
My apologies, I have to interject now because our time is up. But thank you very much for all your insights and for talking to Shreya and myself today.
Thank you. Thank you.